Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to answer the question whether you should buy the Galaxy S8 in 2019. So here we go. Now the S8 was released in 2017. The current version I have is the octa-core Exynos 8895. So it's in Coral Blue. It's a 64GB version. You can also get this in North America and other East Asian markets with the Snapdragon 835. Now coming to just a brief specs refresh, it's got 4GB of RAM. It came on with Android 7, but you do get the Android 9 One UI update for it. 3000 mAh battery, a rear 12 megapixel camera, a front 8 megapixel camera, Bluetooth 5.0, and yes, IP68 water and dust resistant. Now coming to design. Now design in 2019, in my personal opinion, the Galaxy S8 is one of the best designed smartphones ever. Samsung did a great job with this design. Even in 2019, no way will it look outdated. The way the glass in the display just curve over and spill over is really nice. It looks really good, especially when you try to scroll and your icons bend over as they come in. No way is this going to look old-fashioned, in my opinion, because even the Galaxy S9 was based on the same thing. The S10 is almost based on the same thing, except the S10 has got the edge-to-edge display with a pinhole camera on top. What I think is that the S8 has got a really good advantage in terms of the design of its display, because nothing's going to intrude your content. You can watch your content with no intrusion of any notch. There's no pinhole camera, there's nothing. You've got the entire beautiful display to sit and watch your content. So that's a really big plus, in my opinion, for the Galaxy S8. Now coming to the display of the device, the S8 is a 5.8-inch display and the S8 Plus is 6.2-inch display. And it comes with the resolution is 2960 into 1440, and it's got a 570 ppi, so that's really high. So you're not going to see any pixel on this display at all. It's really sharp, it's a really beautiful display. Samsung makes one of the best displays on the market, and it's truly visible on the S8. Now one of the main reasons I still hold on to my S8 despite using the iPhone 10 is because of the display. If you're someone who really loves punchy colors, vibrant blacks, and really bright displays, the S8 is the perfect display for you. Even when looking at my iPhone 10, I still prefer the S8 display because the one on the 10 is kind of dialed down. The colors aren't so punchy, aren't so vibrant on the 10. So the viewing experience and the day-to-day usage experience of the display isn't so mesmerizing than the S8, and I'm really exaggerating because I really love this display. It's a great display, in my opinion. If you're someone who still doesn't like the punchiness of display and still looking at the S8, you can just get into settings and then tweak out the display here. Maybe let's get into basic. It kind of dulls down and lightens down the colors of the display, so yeah, they aren't going to be as vibrant and as punchy as they were by default. So you have these options. You can tweak the display, you can even get it to warm or cool colors, all depending on what you want to do. But the S8's got a great display. Also, you can play up with the screen resolution. I usually keep it at 1440, that's the highest one. But out of the box, you do get it set at 1080p. But remember, if you put it at 1440p, yes, battery life is kind of affected a bit, but I'll speak about battery life a little bit more as we move ahead. Now coming to the software usability of the device, as I said, it came out with Android 7, so you get Android 9 One UI for the S8. I just got One UI a week ago. So yes, I've just got One UI a week ago. There it is, Android version 9. In my opinion, it's been really good. Before One UI arrived, my battery was charged almost, I think, twice in a day I used to charge the device. But after Android 9 Pie with One UI has arrived, battery life has been pretty good for me. I don't have to charge it twice a day, I just charge it before I go to bed. So it's been great for me. Also, the overall responsiveness of the device has been pretty good. Yes, you do find a little bit stutter here and there. I mean, because it just got 4 gigabytes of RAM and In 2019, 4 gigabytes of RAM isn't going to do so well. So yeah, it does stutter a bit here and there, but overall it's been a better experience than what it was with Android Oreo. So I think Android 9 Pie has been a really good update for the S8. Now looking ahead of 2019, if you are someone who's really keen on updates, then I think you should stay away from the S8, because the Android 9 update, in my opinion, will be the final one the S8 gets. Looking back at Samsung's track record with updates, they aren't doing so well with updates. Each device may just see maybe 1 or 2 updates in its entire life cycle. The S8 is pretty fortunate to get 3 of them, but I think frankly that this is going to be the last update for the S8. You will get security updates, but overall major system updates, this would be the last one in my frank opinion. So if you're looking for updates, skip the S8, get the S9 or the S10. Just don't get the S8 for the update part of it. Right now, looking at the apps, in terms of daily usability, the phone does support almost all the apps on the Play Store, so no issues with that. Yeah, as apps get updated in the future, when they become more processor hungry, yes, the S8 would struggle a little bit in the future, but I don't see that happening for another maybe year or so. So another year or two, I think the S8 will be able to hold on pretty well, because the Snapdragon 835 is still a great processor. I don't think it's going to slow down as much as many say it would. So I'm not so sure about that, but as of now, it's doing pretty well. It's pretty decent. Coming to the camera, I'm an iPhone user for a long time, so I'm a hardcore iPhone user, and this is the first Android phone I'm using. So looking at the camera experience, I will post my camera, a few snapshots with the camera from the S8. Looking at the camera experience, I've recognized that when you take a photo on the Samsung phone, for example, you're taking a photo of a blue sky, the photo does tend to be a little more, the sky does tend to be a little more bluer than it actually is in real life. The colors are slightly punched up, the highlights are slightly really overblown in a couple of instances, especially with low light photos. You do get a lot of grain on the S8 than maybe, for example, an iPhone 7. Whereas on the iPhone side, the photos are really true to life. The colors aren't so vibrant and so punchy, they are true to life. So if you're someone who is an avid photographer who's really interested in capturing those memorable moments and would really want to keep the true to life colors, then I don't think you'll be satisfied with the S8, because you'll spend a lot of time tweaking those colors. Whereas if you're someone who really loves very nice vibrant pictures, vibrant colors, and you're always ready to post up on Instagram or any of your platforms, the S8 is great. I mean, you can just snap a photo, it's going to look great on the display, it's going to look great on the S8, and you can upload it. Whereas when you snap a photo with the iPhone, most of the time I have seen people, they do tweak it a bit and then upload it. But the S8 is pretty decent in cameras. In 2019, it's not going to sit in the top 3 or the top 5, but it's still a pretty decent camera. In terms of the feature set of the camera, yes, you do get selective focus, which is portrait mode, but in my frank usage, this isn't working pretty well. I mean, you can not compare it to any phone which has dual cameras or the newer ones. You cannot compare this to the iPhone XR or the Pixel. No way is the S8 going to stand up to both of those devices. Those devices are in another league. They do a really good job with portrait mode. This one is kind of with software, so it isn't quite well done. You do get Pro mode. Pro mode is pretty nice. You can tweak up all your settings which you need. You do get super slow-mo, which debuted with the S9. This, in my frank opinion, is a big gimmick. This doesn't work really well at all on the S8. I think with super slow-mo, you can only record up to 8 to 10 seconds of video on the S8, because it really starts heating up really quickly with super slow-mo, and the battery just nosedives. So super slow-mo, that's nothing. That's just a gimmick. Slow motion is also pretty okay. I mean, the iPhones do much better slow motion than the S8. Hyperlapse is decent. So overall, the camera out of 10, I would maybe give it a 6 or a 7. It's nothing that is gonna, it's nothing great, but in 2019 it's still a pretty decent camera. You've got all of the camera features are pretty good, but in the terms of the photos and videos it produces, it's not gonna impress anyone, in my frank opinion. So that's looking at the camera. Now looking at the price of the S8, yeah, you can get this used now. You can still buy it from Samsung, but you've got to pay a real retail price for that, which is not worth right now in 2019. So if you're looking at sites like eBay, you get the S8 below £300. So that's pretty decent, depending on its condition and all of that. In terms of the feature set, is it relevant in 2019? Yes, it's really good, because the S8, yeah, you still do get IP68 water and rust resistance. And the major thing, you still get the headphone jack, USB-C, no stereo sound, so keep that in mind. This does not support stereo sound. You still do get quick charging, quick wireless charging. It supports Samsung DeX, so if you're someone who's interested in using Samsung DeX, the S8 can do that. Also in terms of security, yes, you do get the fingerprint, you do get iris scanning, and you do get face unlock. In my opinion, face unlock is rubbish on the S8. It takes quite a while to open, and it can be easily fooled. It's nowhere as secure as Face ID on the iPhone. So face unlock is nonsense on this. The fingerprint, yeah, it's quite a reach, and most of the time you end up putting your finger on the camera lens, which can kind of smudge it up. So the sensor is here, and most of the time it does take a while. It does take a while to recognize the device. It does take a few seconds to recognize that you're putting a finger on, and most of the time you do get an error. So the fingerprint sensor isn't in such an ergonomic position on the S8, so keep that in mind. Looking at the iris scanner, it's pretty good. Got to hold the phone a bit nearby. Yeah, the iris scanner, I think the iris scanner is the most reliable one, in my opinion. You don't have to hold the phone at an awkward angle. You can just look at it directly. The iris scanner works the best in my opinion, so I usually use a combo of the iris scanner and the fingerprint sensor for security. So for security, you're pretty much covered. And in terms of Bluetooth, it's got Bluetooth 5.0, so no issues. Now looking at connectivity, it supports 4G LTE, so no 5G on this. So looking into the future, this is not going to affect so much, because 5G isn't here right now. I think it may be available to the masses in 2020, so that's nothing you should consider right now. 5G isn't gonna influence your purchase decision right away. Overall, the S8 is still great. It's a great device, and I still think it holds a great value. The only drawback is going to be the update part of it. And as I said, if you're looking at videos, it's really good to watch a video. For example, let's just play a quick one. Let's just play a quick video. Look at that. That's brilliant. It's literally, there's nothing going to intrude your content. It's a really nice display. It's nice and vibrant. I think that is one of the biggest selling points of the S8, is that beautiful display. Also, one final thing I forgot to mention is that with One UI you do get this gesture system. So with Android 9 you do get gesture system. It isn't going to be as smooth and as fluid as the one on the iPhone 10, but it's a decent experience in my opinion. It's pretty okay. But you can either use gesture system, or you have the option to use the Android buttons as before. So overall, the answer to the question is yes, the S8 is still worth it in 2019. And those of you using the S8, it's a really great phone. I personally, as an Apple user, I still love the S8. So I'm gonna hold on to this one. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Do like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts and comments below in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next one.